We are reading a hand of a particular person whose age is 34. And before I start my video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can call me or you can email me if you wish to take the reading from me. And now we straight away head to this particular hand image. Now, the first impression about this particular hand image is that this hand has got comparatively few lines over it, very few lines over the palm, and having less lines over the palm is always considered to be a very good basically sign. The lesser the lines, the better it is considered to be. In this case, these are the major lines. First, I'll just draw the major line. This is the headline, this is the lifeline, this is the heart line. Everybody basically has it, and this is then some people have money line, some people don't, some people have a sun line, some people don't, and these are the mercury lines, some people have and some people do not have these. So it's not necessary in order to be successful that these lines should be present, the money line, the sun line or the mercury line, but the presence does play a part. I don't deny that, but absence of it does not mean that the person is not going to be successful. So this is the main thing. Now we have to first look at the main thing. When we take a look at the hand, the first thing that we have to take into account is the hand structure. The hand structure is made up of the fingers and the palm and the bone structure and the skin covering over the palm. This is basically the main thing in the palm reading. Some people basically everybody wants to know about their money line. They think that this is the most important line, but I say this is not the most important line. It is basically your hand structure which matters the most. A hand structure that is strong, like in this case the hand structure is strong. By strong, what we mean is that the bones of the fingers are strong. The palm, basically it has got a strong bone structure on the palm, and the padding over the palm is also reasonably good. So this is what makes a palm a strong palm. Some people may have weak kind of palms. Weak kind of palms would mean weakness in all throughout their life. A strong palm means strength in every aspect of their life. See, the thing is, if a palm is strong and the person has got a strong, reasonably okay money line, it basically multiplies the effect of this particular money line. So this is a reason why a strong money line, a strong hand structure is more important than the money line. In his particular case, it means a better hold over people, money and resources. These three things basically come with a strong structured hand. I try to correlate the hand to a particular building. This is a building. So once we are making a building, we have to dig the earth and we have to put in that iron girders and the cementing. So the better the cementing, the better the iron girders, the better the building. So in this case, the iron girders is the strong bone structure in the fingers as well as the palm, and the cementing is basically the on the fingers, the skin, that is the padding that you see all over the palm. Reasonably good padding over the fingers. So that basically makes it much better. It basically signifies that if the building is strong, automatically the building is going to survive in the difficult period as well, like earthquakes or major events happening in their life. So even when there are like major challenges that come into his life, the person would be able to win over those challenges and move ahead in their life. This is what a strong structured hand basically signify. So this is the reason why this part of the hand is given more importance than even to any particular line as such. See, the earthquake doesn't mean, when we talk about earthquake, it doesn't mean that literal earthquake. Earthquake basically could mean that the emotional life or the mental life or the basically money vanishes away, or their relationship vanishes away, or their major mental problems come about. Everything basically the person would be able to survive due to a strong structure of the hand. Now we move on to the other aspect of the palm. The first thing that we are going to be talking about is basically the lifeline. This is basically the lifeline. See, the lifeline has got a reasonably big semicircle. bigger the semicircle, the better it is considered to be. See, I'm just going to draw the degrees. Some people might have a something like this. Some people might have a bigger semicircle. Some people might have even a bigger semicircle. Some people might have even a bigger semicircle. And then this becomes too much. Okay, so bigger the semicircle means, and this is basically the area of Mars, and this is the area of your fuel. So if a line that is having a lesser semicircle, it would mean less of fire, because Mars depicts fire, and this is basically energy and stamina and vitality, the area of Venus. So lesser fuel in the life. So bigger the semicircle means bigger, more the energies and more the fire. So even more fire and even more fire and even more energy and more energy. So it is said that energy is the thing that is required, and energy is everything in life. And if you've got more energies, the chances basically increase for your success. Now the person might say that everybody basically has energies. At this particular age at which he's traveling in, he's age 34. So at this particular age, normally everybody, even a patient person who is age 34, even they would have a good amount of energies. But it's not, we are not calculating for only that particular age. Try to understand that's not the only age we are referring to. See, in the earlier period of your life, everybody is healthy, and even if the person is having some physical issues, even basically the youth, basically that makes them work. But as the person is growing older, that energy depletes. But in his particular case, what happens is that the energy would not deplete even at the last period of one's life. Last period is after the age of, let's say, 65, 70, 80. This is the age, is the later period of one's life. The person would have those intact energies even in the last period of his life. So the person would be bursting with energies even then, and the person would be having even good amount of desires even at that particular moment of his life. So that's the reason why Venus is of high importance. Venus is the petrol, Venus is the diesel, Venus is the ghee and butter, refined butter in your life. So it is also for taste. It's not just the energy, it is also for your refinement and taste. See, the thing is that if you have, this is the area for also your stomach, this whole area is for your stomach. If you have got a strong stomach, automatically you would want more to eat, and that desire to eat and desire to consume your food, that basically is always going to remain there. That means the function of the bodies are going to remain intact. The engine of his body is going to remain intact throughout his life. So this is a positive aspect in his palm. Just by looking at the lifeline, we can come to know about these. Now we are going to take a look at the other aspects on the money line. There's a few backward lines on the money line pointing towards the mount of Jupiter. Jupiter is a big planet. Big means expansion, growth and honor in one's life. So the line that is moving backward from the headline or the lifeline, basically it signifies that the person is going to reach up to a higher position. These lines that we see in the earlier period, they have an effect bearing throughout their life. It's not that it's only at this particular moment of time that these events are going to place. This bearing is going to have all throughout the life. See, the earlier period of our life is the most important. That's a building block of our life. So if we have these lines in the earlier period, the chances basically brighten up. Then we go on to the second aspect. Then we find that this is the lifeline, so backward lines reaching up to a high position. Then we see few 1, 2, 3 more lines pointing towards Jupiter. Again, the same meaning arises, reaching up to a high position. Basically, the person is growth oriented, the person is ambitious, and the person wants honor. So the person is going to work for honor. So this is what is represented by these upward lines. Then there's an upward line out here pointing towards Saturn. Saturn is basically for money, so this is basically a luck line. Any line moving towards a finger is basically luck line. Even this could be considered to be a luck line. There's a little bit cut, something like this, so there's a little bit of doubt out here, but even this I would consider to be a reasonably good line. Now we go on to the headline. This is basically the headline. We see few lines moving upward, pointing towards a mount of Mercury. This is the mount of Mercury. So any line moving upward towards a finger is always considered to be a beautiful line. All these things is happening somewhere at the age of 18, or maybe a little bit before the age of 18, or a little bit after the age of 14. So these are the most important years of one's life, and if the person has basically worked towards these, the chances basically brighten up for the rest of their life. So Mercury is basically for technical skills, communication skills, engineering, medical, scientific, statistical, lawyers. See, lawyers also have it, architects also have it. So many people have these kind of lines that you see, perpendicular kind of lines out here, upward lines that you see from the headline. These are meaning success. It basically signifies something positive is happening in your life, even at that early age of your life. I'm just telling you the opposite now. If a person has a line pointing downward, a small branch pointing downward towards the moon, it basically signifies that disappointments. If a small line is pointing downwards, disappointment. The line doesn't have to reach even to the mount of Jupiter, sorry, the mount of moon. Even a small branch would do that kind of a negative effect in your life. So those lines we don't see, and these are a little bit trouble lines that are coming and touching the person's headline somewhere at the age of, let's say, approximately 30, 32, 33. That's the approximate age. Then another line coming and touching the money line and the headline. The intersection is basically the intersection of the money line and the headline is age 35, this intersection. So on this intersection, so few problems that can come about, but as such, because the strength of the hand is there, so the effects on him is going to be marginal or negligible, totally negligible. Another thing I need to add out here, this is basically the mount of Mars, and Mars is, the person should have least amount of lines out here. See, lesser the lines, the better it is considered to be, because the Mars area is your area of your fire. If a person has too many lines over it, crisscrossing lines over it, then the person is going to be misusing his fire. So the person never misuses his fire. The person never gets never feels that things are going out of his control. The other part is that this is the area of Venus, lesser lines over it. That means he never ever misuses his energy. He never waste his fuel. So successful people never waste their fuel of their life. So this person never wastes his fuel. Although the person would love luxuries, the person would love beauty and art and music and all these kind of things. The person is going to might also spend a huge amount of money also. Those things can come about, but as such, the person never wastes his energies. Now we are going to take a look at the sun line. This is the sun line. The intersection of the head and the sun line, this is age 35. Again, this age is 35. And the intersection of heart line and the sun line is age 53. This is 53. So you would notice that the sun line is not so distinct from the age of, this is from age of 34 until the age of 53. This age, the lines are not so deep and clear. It's a very dim kind of a line. It's a very weak kind of a line that you see. Very weak kind of a line that you see. It's barely visible. So a line that is barely visible, it is said that the person, it is something that I'll try to give a different analogy out here. It basically signifies that when the line is very light kind, it means, I'm just going to drink a bit of water. See, the thing is, when the line is very dim, it signifies that there are deep clouds in the sky. We are trying to make the sunlight divided into three categories: deep cloud, light cloud, no cloud. So deep clouds is a situation when the line is barely visible. Light clouds is a situation when the line is reasonably visible but not very distinct. And then no clouds is a situation when there are no clouds in the sky. It signifies that the sun is shining bright and the earth is receiving good amount of sun energies, and because of those sun energies the person is basically prospering. It basically means more light means the plants that are on the earth, they are going to get better sunlight, and because of better sunlight they are going to grow much faster. Same goes with this particular pace person. It means when the sunlight is good, it signifies that the person would be energizing his work, and because the person is energizing his work, that's the reason why the person is going to be more successful in his life. When the lines are light, like out here from 34 to 53, it signifies that there are deep clouds in the sky, and because there are deep clouds in the sky, the person is unable to find his way out. Like the person wants to go out of his room and the person is unable to go out because there are deep clouds. It signifies the period of self-doubt. It signifies a period when the person might not attain as much success as the person might attain success after the age of 53. Now what might happen, see, in practically, this is the books say this thing, that this is age 25, this is 30, this is 35, this is 44, this is 53, this is 60, this is 70, 80. This is what basically the book says. I'm not going by the book. I say, first I told you what the book says, now I'm saying what I practically experienced. The thing is that because the hand is strong, bone structure, this Venus is prominent, the desire, this is basically the area of desire. The person has got intense desires. Because of these intense desires, even the time when we see the sunlight to be not so clear, even this time is going to get energized. Although even with the self-doubt, even then the person is going to be successful. And I basically value this particular area the most. If this line is good after the age of 53, I say short success even in the earlier period, even when the line is dim. Now we move on to the other aspect, that is the Mercury line. This is the Mercury line. The person, many people must have seen the videos. They must have seen there's a money triangle that is getting formed out here. So it's a reasonably good money triangle. See, money triangle is nothing but when the basically the Mercury line, and Mercury line is the line of skill. The skill line, the money line means money, and the headline means the thought process. These three combine together to form a money triangle. So money triangle is not something like a person is going to become a billionaire or millionaire or something like this, but it does mean that positive aspects are going to come about in his life, and that positive aspects could be purely dependent upon what his desires are, and where and how much education the person has taken, and where the person is angling towards. So bigger the scope he creates for himself, the bigger the result. The lesser the scope, the lesser the result. So it all depends upon him, how much money the person is going to be having. It all depends where the person is angling. So it's again in this way. This is the money line, this is the technical skill line. So money line itself, everybody basically has a money line, but few people have this skill line. So you need the strength of the money line comes from the skill line. Everybody might have a strong money line, but it has got of no use if you do not have a skill line. Skill line means having the set of skills, and it's kind of pointing towards three fingers: the Saturn, the money, this is career, and this is your technical skills, communication, business skills, all kind of skills. So everything basically, what happens is, it is said that energies penetrate the fingers, the rays penetrate the finger, all these things penetrate the finger and they enter your palm. This is your palm, they enter, this is where they enter, and once they enter, they come, they get accumulated out here. So accumulation means that this point of life becomes an important portion of the life where the money triangle is formed. So this time of the life is approximately, if this is 35 on the money line, if this is 35 on the money line, so this time could be approximately 30 or so. That's the approximate age. It could be 29, it could be 31. That's just an approximate age. Then things could have been better. And these perpendicular lines that we see out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are also good lines. These are, one line means one skill, two lines mean two skills, three line means three, four line means four skills. But you don't need to have four lines. Books say that people who have got 3-4 lines, they could be extremely good doctors or healers. That is just one way of looking at it. I basically say 4 lines means 4 set of skills. But the thing is, no line could also be good. 1 line can also be good. 4 lines can also be good. But these lines should be quite distinct and clear. The deeper and clearer the line, the light lines are basically the person is not sharpening their pencil, the person is not sharpening their skill. The strong line basically signify that the person is sharpening their skills more and more and more and more. So this is what it is represented by strong and weak lines. So a person, these lines could be stronger. I would suggest the person should try to make his skills even better. Although these upward lines pointing towards Mercury, these are good. These perpendicular lines over the Mercury is good, and even this Mercury line is good. All these lines are reasonably good. So other aspect on the palm is that when we talk about the heart line and the headline, so it appears that the heart line appears to be a little bit longer, so a person could be emotional, and it's reaching a little bit towards the mount of Jupiter. It's reaching somewhere close to the mount of Jupiter. I'm just going to take a look at the left hand as well. See the left hand, this is basically the left hand. See, the difference between the left hand and the right hand is left is the hand of past, right is the hand of present, left is passive hand, right is active hand. This is how basically the interpretation comes. It's not that we ignore the left hand. One important point to be referred to in this particular hand is that the money line is coming somewhere out here and kind of ending before it touches the headline. So somewhere before the age of 35, major events are likely to take place out here. 33, 34, 35, that's when. So this could be but it's not so prominent because it's seen in the left hand. A new line is going to start, but that too basically ends on the headline itself, and then again a new line starts somewhere at the age of 35, and that basically continues and touches the heart line. So this is reasonably good. We don't see any money line on the mount of Saturn. I basically consider it to be a beautiful sign. Having no money line could be a beautiful sign, or it could be this particular line is moving towards the mount of Jupiter. Jupiter is not basically for money. If it is targeting towards Saturn money line, then it's considered to be much better. If it targeting more towards the Jupiter side, it is more to do with maybe politics, or it could be more to do with administration, religion, politics, honor, all these things. So that's where the person angles after the age of 53, social life. But this portion of the life we have to basically break in the basically the money line. Is basically signifying that probably there could be there are 3 things that might happen. There could be job loss or work loss. This could be one of the things. The second could be the main earning member, their health gets affected or the wealth gets affected, and more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. More responsibility coming onto this particular person's head. The third thing could be relationship issues. So because sometimes there are relationship issues, so what happens is the person would not be able to concentrate on his work, and that's the reason why there are trouble in his work life, and that's the reason why this break that happens. Otherwise, as such, I would say one more area that needs to be seen is that the Mercury finger appears to be a little bit short out here. Sometimes the image is taken, although the person has taken the image in the most best way, but even then it might have been taken in a wrong way. And if the Mercury finger is not reaching till the top phalange line of the sun finger. If it is substantially short, I'm just saying substantially, if it's reaching till here, it's okay. If it's reaching till here, it's okay. But if it's reaching somewhere till here, then it is basically short. So I'm just telling you the meaning of the Mercury finger. If it is short, it basically kind of creates a distance between the near and dear ones, and near and dear ones are the closest people. And closest people, as you move on in your life, the closest people change in your life. In the earlier period, it's parents. In the latter period, it could be wife, it could be sister, it could be son, daughter, or whatever. So those are the closest people, but it's not substantially short, so I wouldn't basically comment on that it's short. Then the heart line is a little bit long. Even in this particular case, reaching out here, it means a very emotional person, very sensitive person, a very touchy person, and it also means having higher expectations in your relationship. So the outcome is the disappointments are likely to come up, but because the line of heart is deep and clear and singular, and it's straight. The straight line means that the person does not express his emotion, the person contains his emotions. The second thing is, because it's deep and clear, it signifies that the person does not get stressed at all. Although the person is emotional, but the person does not carry the extra baggage of the past disappointments or bad relationships or whatever. And the person is focused, because the heartline is simple and clear. It means focus. A person who has too many branches over the heartline, it would mean that the person is flirtatious. The person is not flirtatious here. The person is focused here. And focus is the thing that brings success. Money line does not bring success. Heartline brings success, because focus, समर्पण भाव, अगर व्यक्ति समर्पित है तब उसे सक्सेस मिलता है. उसके अलावा किसी भी तरह से सक्सेस नहीं मिल सकता है. Dedication basically brings success. So this is the most important line. That's the reason I'm telling you towards the end of the reading. In the left hand also we find reasonably strong Mercury line. Reasonably strong, in this case we find a reasonably strong sun line in the initial phase. Then the doubts arise, then a strong line of sun. So I've already described whatever I had to describe. A very well padded Venus, very high energetic area, and high desires person, never getting tired, never ever getting tired in his life. The person might work for 10 days without getting tired. And coming back to the right hand, I just add the last thing. The same thing basically applied out here regarding the heartline being long, extra sensitivity, high expectation. One more thing is that, see, for money, if you want money, you have to basically pray for money. And if a person is not praying for money, the person would comparatively get less money in his life. So this person does not pray money. The person does not value money. The person is going to, I'm surely the person is going to disagree with my analysis, but still I'm going to stick my neck out and say the person does not value money. The person is a bad money manager. The person basically, although the Saturn is good, so money management comes from here, but because your heart line is not angling towards Saturn, it's not that you have, the line has to go dig and deep down out here. Even if the heart line was ending somewhere under the mount of Saturn, that is good enough. That means the person is responsible and the person values money more. As such, because the hand quality is good, so the person would be reasonably the person would be responsible, but at the same time the person totally is not a materialistic person out here. The person is an emotional person. So where the chance of money to make money arises, the person might lose that opportunity. This is what basically I wanted to convey. Where the opportunity is there to make money, even there the person is going to lose the opportunity. The person might say that no, he wants money. Yes, the wanting of money is coming from the area of your desires and all the area of luxury and beauty and all those things. The person would have everything, but still the person does not value money. And last thing is that there's a loop like formation. There's a loop out here also. So these loops, this loop and this loop, there's a no loop out here, but these are common loops which everybody has. This loop is a rare loop. It is called the Raja, R-A-J-A loop. You can search it on the internet. What it says, it basically signifies that your ancestors could have been at a high position in the court of a king. It basically means that, but I say it differently. I say that it is basically combining Jupiter, this is Jupiter and Saturn together. So just take a scenario of a king. This is basically the area of a king for everybody. Everybody basically has it, and this is the area of the businessman. So a king basically would be able to rule over, rule in a much better day, much better way if the person has got this administrative skills. So this is the area of administration, religion and political understanding of things. So this is what is required. But apart from being good at administration, understanding of religion and politics, the person should also have a good understanding of money. If the king does not have good amount of money, the population is going to get dissatisfied, and if the population get dissatisfied, governance becomes difficult. So combining these two planets is basically Jupiter and Saturn combined, so it means the qualities come to him. There's a mole somewhere on the mount of sun. It is the area of, and somewhere lying between the sun, the area of money and the area of your career and name and fame. Some people call this line as the luck line. I do not call this as the luck line. I just say that this is how much energies you give to your work. That's it. So sun line, some people might say this is a name and fame line. Yes, automatically if you're going to give good amount of energies to your work, you would get name and fame. So it's all about energizing your work. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you liked this particular video. If you like this video, click on the like button, press the bell icon. YouTube. Before I end my video, people want to know about money, possessions, wealth. We can come to know about money from heart line, head, life, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line. Importance of money line is 15% in every person's case. Every person, not only his, but every person. And lastly, the last thing is that a saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep good company, because if you have good company, if there are any negative signs on your palm, it doesn't matter at all, because good company is going to take you in the wrong direction. The person has got a beautiful hand, good hand, success hand, but if the person keeps bad company, nothing is going to come to him if he has bad company. So company matters the more, although the hand does show good company, because the heart line is pointing towards a finger, so normally he meets good people only. So that's it out here. Bye and take care. Thanks for watching.